All right, let's go ahead and get started on this. This is a vertical painting. And as I've said before, I don't necessarily like to do them, but sometimes you have to. Some paintings just require it. Basically because they look good that way. We have very little sky right here. I don't have any liquid. There's no liquid white, liquid clear on any of this. This is our sky, this little strip. And you'll probably barely even be able to see it time it's all said and done. I'm just taking a little phthalo blue and some white. I want it to be a very, very light. Like I got trees. I'm not even sure you'll be able to see hardly any of it. This is more of a, I guess you could call a background sky. You'll be able to see a little bit, but not much. You can tell that's dry, can't you? I'm scrubbing it and not much is happening. That's okay, that's the way we want it today. Just scrubbing away. I'm just going to put color. I just came in after work, and all I'll probably have time to do today is get the color down. This painting here is not too difficult. This is a boardwalk. The trees coming across would be probably the hardest part, I would imagine, because there's a lot of trees, which means there's a lot of leaves. Not a lot, but a good amount. And put a little more white in it, and that's probably good. You know, it's a lot harder to do a sky with no liquid white or liquid clear in it, but there ain't nothing hardly here, so. Okay, I think that's it. I do have a picture. It's right here above me. If you see me looking up, that's what I'm doing. Let's go ahead. Let's start with some black. This is just a hill right here. It's got trees on it, but you got to put a dark color down first. I'm going to take some black, phthalo blue, and some white. That way it's not quite so dark. It'll be dark, but not black, if you know what I'm saying. Black, phthalo blue, some white. Just mix it in a pile. This whole thing, every bit of this, clear down to that line right there. All the way down. See, that's actually a good color I would like to have, this color right here. We're down in this area in particular. I gotta figure out what I just mixed up to get that color. I know what I mixed up. I'm just teasing you. And the water looks kind of like it has turquoise in it, so that's what we got for our water color today is turquoise. I'm just going to keep scrubbing this in right here. This is going to take me a few minutes. And then I'll bring you back. We'll put some turquoise here, and we're just putting color down. I'll bring you back as soon as I finish this. All right, let's do the water. I wiped all this off too. I put a color up here. I put it here. This is brown. Wiped it all off. Because maybe I can paint a little bit more this evening. I don't know. Let's see how this looks. That's pretty blue or pretty greenish looking. The water is greenish looking. I just don't. I'm not sure it's quite that green looking. Let's mix some phthalo blue with it. Here's my turquoise. Let's see how that looks. But it definitely has green in it, this water. That's pretty darn close. In the picture that I'm looking at, this is pretty close. A little darker here. Let's make sure we got plenty of green in it though. I'm losing some green. Blue's a little stronger than this turquoise. So let me just throw more turquoise in it. I don't want to lose that. I may not wipe this off depending on how it looks. There's a little yellowish area right in here. It looks like algae. And we might put it in, we might not, I don't know. Okay, it's going to get a little darker down here toward the bottom. Let's take a little Prussian blue. That'll darken it up. Prussian blue will definitely darken it. Maybe a touch of black. Because it gets into a little shadow area down in here. The sun is kind of coming down this way. Something like going across but coming toward me at the same time, if that makes any sense. Let's get it darker right here. There is a very small amount of reflection, believe it or not, from this hill. You would think there'd be more, but there's not. This is a real picture I'm looking at. Boy, it makes it convenient to have a picture to look at. So I'm just going to pull this down. Like I said, there's not much reflection here, if you even want to call this a reflection. I guess it is, because I'm treating it like one, ain't I? Let me get a clean brush. And we'll just lightly go across this. That's about it, man. I mean, there ain't much going on there as far as the reflection goes. All right, let me show you what I'm doing here. Most of this back in here is going to be covered. I got a 1-inch brush here, and I'm just making shapes of trees. Because a lot of this you are not going to be able to see, I promise you. So I'm just kind of stomping it in, stamping it in. And that's exactly the way the picture looks. I'm taking sap green, some yellow, and just a touch of white. Just trying to dull it down a little bit. Or give it a different color, not dull it, but just something a little different. And this is all I'm doing. Just give it the shape of trees, bushes, just randomly throw some things in. Because this hill, you know, is on the other side, so obviously it's not going to, you're not going to be able to see good shapes and forms. But I got trees coming across with leaves. There'll be leaves that cover most of this right here. It's not worth taking a lot of time to work on. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say. Take time on something no one will see. This is just background stuff. I think that looks perfectly fine right there. Just for background stuff. Okay, let me see here. This area here is kind of dark. I went ahead and threw this in. This is pretty dark right in here. I may be just about done for today. I just wanted to put some color down. I got it down. And I think that might be it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, we're going to go ahead and put our trees in. I got this zoomed in pretty close. At the bottom of this you can't see because this is a vertical painting. But anyways, we've got a lot of trees to put in here. And they're all dark. So I'm going to use, I believe I'm going to use raw umber and maybe just take a touch of Prussian blue because I got a lot of it. I need to use it. Prussian blue. Well, I mean, there's a lot of trees here, so we're just going to start Probably just anywhere we want, really. I'm going to start right here. These trees are all leaning. Every one of them. And they're all dark because the sun is not hitting this side of them. These are all big, not big trees, they're just kind of medium-sized trees. But man, there's a lot of them. And they're all going to this one area right here. They're all leaning. That's what I said. You won't, I actually like this back here, but you won't be able to see a lot of it. Because there's going to be branches hanging down covering most of this. Well, there's one out of probably a dozen. There's one. Let's see. My gosh, there's so many of them. I don't know. I almost don't even know where to begin. Let's put another one right here. I'm just going to go ahead and put that in. I'm kind of twisting my brush as I'm coming down. That keeps paint flowing, twisting it. Yeah, this is Prussian blue and raw umber that I'm using here. I'll have to work on a lot of these off camera because, man, there's a lot of them. And I see, I mean, there's stuff, my gosh. The more I'm looking, the more I'm seeing. There's one coming down here. I'm doing the bigger ones first. These are the bigger ones. There's lots of branches here and there. So I'm going to bring this one down. It looks like it kind of connects somewhere down in here. Yeah, I'll be doing this a while, this one here. Got a pretty big one. Let's see. Actually, I think we'll make this the big one. Since it's already here, I'll just make it wider. One big one. This is probably the biggest tree there is. And I'm twisting as I'm bringing it down. That's important or you're not going to get very far if you don't twist your brush as you're pulling it because it lets paint flow from it. Let's see, we've got one that's kind of coming this way, crossing back. I'll do this one and I'm probably going to have to do the rest of these off camera, some of it, because there's just so much here to do. Maybe one more after this. Some of them just go off into the distance. There's supposed to be like a little hill right here. Well, let's see here. There's several small ones. Just kind of come like this, cross over, cut back. So far, I mean, I think they're okay. This is how it looks. So we're gonna bring one down like this. Get more paint on my brush here. It's gonna come down, kind of just meld in with these other ones. I don't know which tree goes to which branch goes to which tree now, do you? So many of them. Got one coming over here. It looks like it does one of those numbers, goes out of the picture. Let's see, that's the one I just did, so I'll bring that there, connect into. Okay. Got some more up in here. They just kind of shoot out of the picture. Kind of go sideways. Branches off a little. There's a lot of stuff in here. A lot of these are going to be covered with leaves. There's a lot of leaves in this. Okay, guys, I'm just going to keep doing this because this is going to take a while. And I'll be back. All right, let me show you what I'm doing here. I'm putting some light leaves on here. This is going to take a while. This is my first set. And these leaves are supposed to be further back. I'm going to put darker ones toward us. These leaves are supposed to be behind these branches, if that makes any sense, in the sunlight. And this is all I'm doing. I'm just trying to make them kind of small without boring myself to death. But you know, they're small leaves. I mean, I have a picture, and these particular leaves here are pretty small. They're just random, just here and there and everywhere. And I'm using white, a little ochre, touch of brown, and white. I'm just mixing it up in a pile right here. And like I said, they're just random as random can be. Just some here, some there. And that's the best way for it to be. I mean, being random. You certainly don't want things nice and neat, because nature is not necessarily like that. Things are kind of random. But this is our first layer of leaves. And we're just throwing them in. This takes a while, but hopefully it's worth it. That's all you can hope for. That's all you can hope for. These are a little darker down in here. Mainly the white, lighter ones are in this area that I got them in. I'm looking at the picture up here at the top. Make sure I got them all. And then I'll start on some darker leaves. And we're just tossing stuff in. Okay, I just want to show you what I'm doing. I'm going to start on some darker leaves next, because this is going to take quite a while to do. Comma stroke on leaves takes a while. And I'll bring you back when I get a little bit more done here. All right, I've been working here a little bit. I got my leaves put in there, for the most part, about the way I want them. I'm going to bring this path, scoot it in just a little bit. I think it might be too wide. I don't know. I kind of think it is. So I'm just going to take some black, some sap green. I'm just going to bring it in a little bit. Oh, I don't really know where to start. Maybe here. I'm just using, like I said, black and sap green. Make it look more unorganized, maybe is the word. Just bring it in some. Apparently that yellow's still wet, isn't it? I'll go ahead and pick this up. I think it's okay. Sometimes I gotta wipe my brushes off as I'm working, but I don't think I do at this point. I'm trying to give it the imagination, or give the impression of shadows right there. I'm not sure how well that's working. If you're wondering why this is streaked, that's what I'm attempting to do. That's probably not too bad for this side. I might make this flare out just a little more here. I got a little small brush I'm using here. Yeah, I think that looks a little better there. Let's do this side right here. Just make it come out here and there. Like I said, make it look a little disorganized. You don't want things looking perfect, straight and neat. That's not a good thing in a painting. But this is all done. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, as soon as I finish this, we're getting real close. I'll touch up a few things. I did highlight these trees a little bit. I just can't help it. They were just all black, and I thought, my gosh, I just can't really stand that. even though in the picture, and it's a real picture, they are black. Because this is shade, but I don't know, man. I just can't really take it. I got to have some kind of color on there. I know there's dark trees, but that's okay. I mean, I think that looks a little better. I think that looks a little bit better right there. I don't know, this might be too wet to try this, but I'll try to put just a little something on, a little yellow perhaps. A lot of this is in the shade. Oh, where can I start at? So some of this is going to be pretty dark. Even as far as this grass here goes, this yellow might be a little too much. I think I'll leave most of it though. I mean, I like it. But what I'm doing right here, this collard green, this is basically a muddy yellow blend of, because I never cleaned my brush. It's got black sap green, and you can see the color. Maybe it's kind of an olive. And that's probably good enough because most of this is really in the shade. If it's in the shade, that means it's not bright, right? And this is certainly dark over here. I'll grab a little Prussian blue. Mix in with this sap green. See, that's too dark. Put a little yellow in it so you can see it. You need to see a little color. Yeah, see, that's good right there. Well, I mean, I can see it. It's a dark green, but it's there. And that's about what we're doing. Okay, I'll bring you back here in a few minutes. Well, folks, that looks like a wrap. I like it, man. I think it turned out pretty well. I like these shadows right here. Hey guys, don't forget to like and subscribe for more future videos. And thanks for watching.